All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, very excited to be talking to an individual who is coming off of a big win on July 19th and getting that big W in the Karate Combat Pit, doing it at the 56th Karate Combat event. And very excited to have Alexander Krutskykh on Bowks Talking Bouts to discuss some of the big moments from that event and just his career overall. But first off, how are you doing, man? You having a good day so far?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here. And yeah, that was definitely great fight, great experience, like good challenge for me. And yeah, that was something that's brought me to that challenging rounds and where you have to switch into the more your mental strength, in those last rounds. So that was good.
Yeah, and going 2-0 in the Karate Combat Pit now and everything like that. Like, did you feel like this fight, I guess, brought something additional out of you that maybe the first fight in January at Karate Combat 52 didn't? Like, it sounded like based on how you broke it down, you had to maybe dig a little deeper in that last fight.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Both fights was hard and challenging, but this one was something that I have to, turn on the different gear, where I have to like really dig deep and it shows who is more mentally prepared for those last. Even though we both was tired, but I guess I wanted more in this night
Yeah, and I mean, one of the
to do.
key distinct differences between the first Karate Combat fight and the second one was that, massive moment that happened after the fight, the big proposal and getting the yes. I mean, that had to have been a great moment, I would think.
Yeah, that was something surreal, man. I still doesn't feel this is actually happens, and everything lines up perfectly as I imagine it in my head, as I visualize it. Everything went exactly. I was even before the fight, I was already knowing that we will go to the fourth round, and I know that I have to leave everything in there. And when was sitting after this third round and I heard the people started screaming like fourth round, fourth round. I was like, oh shit. But I know that's like it's either now or never, and I it's popped in my head that I still have the big plan to do after the fight. So I was like, I gotta go and leave it all in there, and and yeah, everything like after the fight, I win. I was like, okay, now is the time, and I don't think there's a better moment to get the proposal. And yeah, that's something to for my fiance and myself. That should be something like lifetime memory. This is something we'll both remember for a long time.
Yeah, and that's awesome, man. And it's been a little bit since you got that victory in the pit. Like, not quite 2 weeks, but I guess getting closer to that. Like, what have you been up to since then? I mean, you get a big victory, you're engaged now. Like, is there some, smelling of the roses, enjoying the moment? I would hope so, at least for a brief period, at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. We like after the fight, we stayed in Miami for 3 more days, and went on Key West and enjoyed the nature, and just travel, eating a lot of good food, and just came back here, celebrate my birthday, and just enjoyed a little bit. And now this week, I'm kind of back to training. I took 1 week of training, and now we kind of getting back to routine, getting back to training my clients and training myself, and kind of now start looking forward to the next fight. And kind of next week we'll probably gonna start like actually the camp. We don't have the date, we don't have the timeline towards the fight, but we just gonna be training as something comes, and whatever comes, we will be in shape.
Well, that's cool to hear because it seems like based on the schedule you've had with Karate Combat, at least within, the body of this year so far, it would, I guess, stand to reason that you could potentially, get one more in at the very least. So yeah, that's cool to hear that you're, looking to ramp into that, like albeit, like you said, not with a date or location solidified per se, but just yeah, staying ready for whatever may come next.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the, the mindset I have. I'm, always have to have something in front of me to, training and preparing towards, because if it's there's nothing lined up, it's you can be training hard and you can be in shape, but it's different when you have the date lined up and there's something, you know preparing towards, and getting yourself ready. But yeah, it's lifestyle, man. I love that shit, and I love to develop myself and improve with every camp. I know this is the next fight will be harder than the previous one, and I'm happy with that, because I'll have to, find myself to and improve myself, and work on mistakes I did my last fight, and work on the things was actually working and improve that, and just skill develop and do as much as I could in that camp and improve as much as I could.
Yeah, and also happy belated birthday too, by the way. I did notice you slipped that in a bit ago. So it seems like a lot of cool things are happening for you lately.
Yeah, yeah, thank you, man. That was yeah. This this is it's nothing better than have the win and proposal and my birthday. It's like everything just lined up perfectly, and I was like, I can believe this is happening, man. This is like dreams comes true type thing.
Yeah, no, incredible stuff. And in terms of, I guess, like dreams coming true or even just things being like such a, perfect fit, it would seem like karate combat fits within that. Like you've had Muay Thai bouts and some amateur MMA experience from what I was seeing. But I saw a post in the karate combat subreddit talking about how karate combat for you is in a way like really returning to your roots in martial arts, like Goju-Ryu Karate foundations and stuff like that. So does this karate combat framework feel like, I guess, the ideal combat sports framework for you specifically? Because it seems like very, I guess, tailor made to the skills that you have and everything.
Yeah, definitely. There was my base. That's where I started from karate, and now like started my professional career in the karate professionally and in such a big league like karate combat. That's something like where like I was like even 2 years ago I was just watching the fights and I was like, shit, how cool would be that to fight in there? And then now I'm having my second fight in there, um, where I'm thinking that I'm probably the first Canadian Ukrainian who is fighting in karate combat. We had some Ukrainian fighters and Canadians fighters in there, but I guess I'm first the Canadian Ukrainian. So it's cool to represent, both countries and be on such a high level. And yeah, this is something that I'm looking to stay there for a while and get as much fights as I could. But yeah, we'll see what's next will bring. But for now, this is perfect for me. And yeah, I'm just looking to elevate my skills and get the harder fights, and yeah, and we'll see what will be next.
Yeah, I feel like karate combat is such an interesting kind of framework in terms of like so many martial artists from so many different spaces coming to, test their skills. And I mean that in like a general way, but even just looking at the, specific card that you were a part of, it just seems like there's such an incredible roster of individuals, like, a former BKFC Thailand champion on the card, former UFC veterans. I mean, current BKB interim title holder Jared Grant also fought on the card. So it seems like a cool sort of framework in that regard, just fighters from all kinds of disciplines coming to test their skills in the pit. I would think that would be exciting for someone like you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like now that karate combat evolved like almost to like as close to MMA as possible, and they allowed everything: ground pound, elbows, knees, clinch, all that. So this is works way better for me than like more classic karate style when you can hit above the knee, or what was it, above, lower the knee or above the knee. Some Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but there's a lot of with the new president. There was a lot of rule set was changed, and it works for me way better because I love ground and pound, and I love elbows and knees and all this. So now it's like when everything like they brought together, it's way more entertaining, and it can bring much more different styles and different fighters from all over the world. And yeah, kind of see which is martial arts are better, and yeah, that's very very cool time to be a part of that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And you were talking about, your efforts as an instructor and some of the different clients you have, and definitely saw a big footprint of that, just different like tutorial pieces you were doing and stuff like that. Like you seem like you really have a passion for that, I guess, in terms of like, teaching people martial arts and kind of having that instructor hat on with a lot of this stuff. Like, how much does that, I guess, benefit your own refinement and growth as a competitor and everything as a professional fighter and everything? Because I talk to fighters who are instructors and have certain clients like that and do engage in a certain level of coaching and stuff like that. And it seems like it really refines what they do as a competitor that much more, even. So just curious if that was also the case for you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that's I'm really passionate about, and they see my clients improve and how they get more confident with the ability of protect themselves, protect their family, and it's affecting all part of their life because now that's when you're confident and you can comfortably walking in the street and know that if something goes on, you can protect yourself and your family at first. So it's cool to see how they develop mentally and just how they changing their habits and when they reaching out to me they're like, oh man, I feel so much stronger, so much better. So this is what makes me really happy and helping people to get better and plus when I started coaching people, that's where I realized like huge improvement in my skills because now when I have to explain to the person who have no idea about martial arts how to throw the punch, now I have to think more deeper into real technique of the punch, not just like explain it to the guy who know how to punch. I have to break it down so piece by piece that person who have no idea about it will understand me, and this is helping me to understand more technique and more the proper breakdown of how the actually combination or the punches are thrown. And yeah, this definitely helped me to like improve my skills as well with the way of explaining it to my clients.
Yeah, it's great to see, man. And you're doing such great things in karate combat. So it must be cool for, your clients to learn from you and, to see what you're doing. And I guess to the point of some of the action that happened later on in the night, I guess I'm kind of presuming too that you stuck around and checked out some of the fights, but it seemed like there were some big highlights with Aline Pereira cementing herself as a champion, Lorenz Larkin getting a victory in the pit, some 150-pound championship action in the headliner. Like, was there any other fights from the night rather that I guess really stood out for you, or that you had any particular thoughts on, like any standout moments from that event beyond the standout moments you generated and everything?
Honestly, I love the older fights. It was just some of the fights was really exciting, and I really enjoyed the heavyweight tournament too. Night before, so that was something cool to see. Three fights in one night. Yeah, I was just imagining myself fighting three times in that night. I was like, that would be rough. And plus, this is the heavyweight. I was like, holy. So that was cool. That's cool. Like that's a lot of different weight classes and different levels of the fighters are competing in karate combat, and yeah, that's the and the pit that makes such a big difference. It just it's like it feels like you in a movie. Like it's just different vibes. I fought in cage. I fought in the ring. I fought in the tatami. Everywhere. But this is something special. This is something you want to be there. You just so entertaining, and that wall pit making you engage more because you don't want to hang in there on that wall because it's way harder to get up from there. And yeah, that's making the fighters engage with each other more and kind of backing up less.
Yeah, it's a great competitive space and really informs the fights in a positive way, I would say. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned that heavyweight tournament, I felt like Rubelas Despain had quite the show out across multiple outings, and that title fight with Sam Alvey coming up should be an intriguing one, I think.
I'm super excited for to see if yeah, who'll get it, because it's Sam Alvey been on the crazy run lately, and both of them. So I'm really looking forward to see who'll get that one, and that will be potentially fight of the year for sure.
Yeah, Sam Alvey's been on such a roll, like really reinvented his career in a big way. Like I believe the first ever multi-division karate combat champion. I mean, that Tyrone Spong finish he had was one
Oh
of the
my God.
more, yeah, breathtaking finishes for sure. I mean, obviously with respect to Tyrone, I don't mean it in that way, but just like, it's like, wow, what an impressive victory that was. Just, yeah.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking that would be a very close fight, and I had no clue that it will be finished that early and in that way. So that was brutal, to see such a legend and just go down like that. And I gotta give it to Sam Alvey for bringing that energy to that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been mentioned a couple times that I mean, very much, representing Canada in a certain regard too, but proudly representing Ukraine through your fighting efforts. I guess through that lens, just referencing another high level Ukrainian fighter. I'd be curious to get your thoughts on that Usyk versus Dubois fight. Like, I mean, you were fighting on the same day that was taking place, so probably not like an in real time sort of thing, but just if you maybe caught highlights of that or anything, just thoughts on that Usyk versus Dubois rematch.
Yeah, honestly, like I wasn't expecting nothing than that, but yeah, I knew he gonna finish it. A lot of controversy was about the last fight. That's he was faking it. He was taking the low blow, and a lot of people was hating on that. But I know what kind of person he is, and he wouldn't fake it, and he proved that again, and in such a beautiful performance, and putting him down like that was such a crazy left hook like that, and that was beauty. And happy because he is Alexander and I'm Alexander, so it's we both take the W this night. And yeah, that was cool to be part of that. And my teammates in my hometown here in Canada, they both streamed Usyk fight and then streamed my fight right after. So that was cool to see. How the gym was supporting me, and a lot of people reaching out and supporting and joining the live stream. So that was very very special.
No, that's incredible for sure, man. And I guess like another question related to like another standout Ukrainian fighter as you are. I mean, this isn't like a super recent happening per se, but within the last few weeks, there was an announcement that Vasily Lomachenko would be retiring from the sport of boxing. Just curious to, get your thoughts on that and just the totality of a career that saw him win professional titles across multiple divisions and multiple Olympic gold medals, etc.
Yeah, honestly, Lomachenko, this is my all-time favorite boxer. And when I started doing boxing in Canada, he was the person who I look it up to, and I was trying to imitate his style and get as close as possible and work a lot of footwork. And he's such a legend. And I think out of all the boxers I watched, and I think he have the best footwork and best fighters IQ. And to see him retire, it's of course it's sad, but he's not young anymore, and he reached such a high level of you know titles. And his amateur career, I think one of the best and the biggest in the world. I think it's like 360 something amateur fights and one loss. That's incredible. And yeah, just seeing him fighting, it's like looking, it's pure art. It's like, but like as close as possible to being the artist in a boxing terms. So yeah, that's very sad, but good for him. He deserved the good retirement, and yeah, wish him luck.
Yeah, well said, man. An exemplary career, and certainly a boxer that I also very much enjoyed watching. Certainly an exemplary fighter and everything. I guess one of the last questions I kind of wanted to touch on while I still have you, though, man, because I did reference that the main event fight of the last Karate Combat card you were on was for that 150-pound title, and your last fight saw you get a victory at 150 pounds. Like, is there any interest in potentially, putting together a body of work to be pursuant of that title going forward, just with, Shahzaib Rind, emerging from that event as the 150-pound karate combat champion? Like, is that someone that you have a certain level of focus on at some point down the line? Someone you'd like to step into the pit with, I suppose?
For now, I want to look in more towards lower weight class. Next fight, I want to fight in catch weight 145, then 140, and then potentially 135. Because 150, I'm barely cut any weight, and this is not my weight class. My weight class is 145, and unfortunately, the karate combat doesn't have that weight class. And I know 35 will be quite a big cut, quite a big cut for me, but I know that's 150 dudes are freaking huge, and I want to slowly lower my weight class, and we'll see what's will be next. I'm looking one step at a time. So next fight 145, and then we'll see what happens after that. And yeah, kind of one step at a time.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's just cool to follow along with what you've been able to put together so far, but just, trying to be mindful of your time and everything, man, and just letting you enjoy the victory and the fruits of your labor and everything. I'd be curious if maybe you had a final parting thought you wanted to add as we're kind of wrapping up here, man. I appreciate you coming on Bowks Talking Bouts and giving great insights today.
Yeah, man. No, I'm happy to share my knowledge and have a good discussion with you. And yeah, I'm just want to let everybody know that I'm the fighter to watching, and I'm every time I'm promised the violence and entertainment, and every fight I'm bringing it, and it's only will be getting better. And yeah, I'm promised every single fight that will be entertainment, and every time I'm setting up the bar higher.
Yeah, I mean, it
So
definitely seems like that's been the case. I'm seeing that incremental growth throughout each fight. So, yeah, I love to see that. And just what an exciting performance at Karate Combat 56. And again, big congratulations on the engagement. And just, yeah, it seems like there's a lot of great things going on in your life right now, man. But again, thanks for coming on Bouts Talking Bouts today. We'll have to, get something arranged whenever they do firm up a date for that next Karate Combat outing. But until then, man, you have a good rest of your day. And thanks again for the time.
appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, and looking forward for next one.